Hello, Lisa Richard here with Loving Energy Recharge. Welcome to the Inner Alchemy for January the 27th, leading us through to February the 1st. We have just come out of what was known as the Gate of Imagination. This was gate number 41, found down within the root center in your human design chart. And it was really stimulating us to move beyond our problems and really get to a solution. To also acknowledge the dreams, the visions, the inspirations that were coming through, and see that as opportunities to start planning for a better future, to start moving things into form and into manifestation. So we had a lot of awareness as to things that perhaps we wanted to change within ourselves, things that we would like to see being changed within the world, and really starting to become more mindfully aware of the power of our thoughts. Maybe feeling some resistance within yourself when it comes to a willingness to change or a desire to want to go somewhere. And maybe even recognizing some of the self-sabotages that then come in and close the door and say, no, we can't go there. We're not safe enough to go there. Being really honest with your energy and really attuning to what is arising for yourself within your dreams, within your thoughts, within your energy fields, then starts to build the relationship between yourself and your higher self, who is here to help to move you beyond what you believe to be possible. So we are in Aquarius season. We are very much utilizing the element of air. We are in the 11th house, which is all about community, the humanitarian, and reaching for that higher wisdom. So we're also at that place within the turning of that mandala wheel through the year, where we're coming out of the all about me and feeling the greater we. So recognizing how we are connected to each other and starting to really feel within the body some heightened sense of sensitivity as we are now moving into what is known as gate number 19, which is all about approach. So we're still down in the root center for this week, but what we are noticing now is a ping pong between the root center and your emotional center. It is literally working through what is known as the channel of sensitivity during this time. So if we look at that emotional center for a moment, the emotional center within us, our capacity for emotional awareness is still very young. We're still in the early stages of understanding the power of our emotions, the depth of our spirit, our desires, our passions, and allowing ourselves to be set free, to allow ourselves to ignite what it is that we're here to create, but also to really recognize how emotional energy, when coming from a place of the ego, the small self, has a very self-serving interest. When we are engaging in the self-serving interest, things run flat. Creative ideas don't go very far. They lack that opportunity to really enhance its offering and to feel the deeper soul satisfaction of what something can become. When we are also feeling that deeper soul connection and we are limiting ourselves from believing that we can bring that into manifestation or we can walk through that energy, then we're also feeling that pull back within ourselves, that sadness, so to speak, where we're not letting ourselves live the life that we were destined to live. So we are touching on some very sensitive ground right now. You might be feeling within your own energies a surge of emotion. You might be very aware right now of things that need to change within your life. Perhaps you are also feeling the effects of hitting your comfort zone and coming up to your own personal boundaries of what feels to be unpredictable and how you manage unpredictability within yourself. Perhaps it is facing a fear of rejection, or really looking at consequences to actions. Now, depending on our mindsets, our belief systems, our upbringings, and depending on your own level of sensitivity, meaning how much you've allowed yourself to relax into your body, to open up to the greater energy fields that do surround us, we're all going to be feeling and experiencing this on a different level. So let's explore a little bit about what it means to walk through the gateway of approach and really look at the inner alchemy here that is afforded to us through the teachings of the gene keys, which offers us the lower vibrating energy of codependence and reaches us for the higher gift aspects of embracing the sensitivity, meaning embracing our beautiful ability to feel others, to experience others as we experience ourselves. And for many of us who are energy empaths, we are sensitive to the energies. You might have felt afraid to go that deep within yourself because it does feel to be overwhelming when you can sense somebody else's emotions. It can feel to be overwhelming when you are being hit with somebody's fears. It can feel to be overwhelming when the energy of the place that you are in isn't healthy for you. So we're here to start learning through the root center, which is all about that center of safety and security and building your foundation, knowing that you are safe enough to put down your roots, to trust in the wisdom of the ancestors, those that have walked this journey before, who are here to guide you through your experience and encouraging you to walk forward. We first have to trust in the self to know what energy belongs to you, what energy belongs to someone else, and what is this energy really communicating to you. I know for myself as a sensitive, I've always had a deep connection to animals and even branching that off to plants, to nature itself. Why? Because it felt safer. There seemed to be more of a predictability in sitting in the element of whatever was natural as opposed to sitting with humans. Humans have a lot of unpredictable behaviors, a lot of emotional energies that we carry within us. Emotional energy cannot be rationalized because it is based on whatever somebody's experiencing within themselves and then looping into the stories and memories of the mind that then formulate that energetic response. So it can be overwhelming to try to figure out someone else's emotions and to try to prevent, control, or fix a situation from taking place because you are sensitive to that energy. So turning to nature for me became a beautiful way of learning the importance of the gateway of approach to look at the shadow component of codependency, meaning relying on something else for your safety, your security, your happiness, and learning then to break free into trusting in one's own ability to be a sensitive. When we look at horses, for example, because we're coming up to the year of the horse, and there can often be a misperception that the horse has a lot of fast energy, fire energy, strong energy. And yes, it does have all those things. It is wild. It does what it is here to do because it owns what its energy is. But at the same time, if we are to approach that kind of energy, we can't be coming at it in fear. Horses, animals, they have an instinctual ability to feel fear. And when they feel fear, they move into panic. They start becoming antsy. They become very reactive to the energy. They start to do things that are out of character. So they are highly unpredictable. Otherwise, if you have a relationship with an animal, such as a horse, and you've built trust and you know how one another moves within that energy, you start to build a partnership. You start to move as one with the rhythms of life. And it's about letting go to trust that the horse knows the direction, it knows the way, it knows its own footing, it knows its capabilities, and it asks you to hold on and to trust in the direction that it is guiding you towards. Now, that takes time. It takes time if we were to circle that back into ourselves and building a relationship with our higher self to be able to trust in your physical form, in your emotional and mental bodies, and all the extensions of the self, to know that you are being guided through your experiences, to embrace the sensitivities that comes with, and to allow it to be your wisdom teacher. So learning about emotional energy is so important. We're going to find that when we eventually move into Pisces season, into that 12th house, we're fully in that emotional center. We're fully going to be immersed into feeling our emotions, our spirit, our depth, increasing the awareness in that in order to help us to grow and expand. So as long as we are shutting ourselves down from feeling, or we're afraid to tap into our sensitivities, we're not learning the lessons. So we stay within that shadow of codependence, meaning we feel like we're inadequate to do it ourselves, and we want somebody else to do it for us. Or we distract ourselves from feeling because we are overwhelmed within that experience. If you look at somebody else to meet your needs, in order for you to feel happy or to feel safe or to feel secure within that energy. And this is coming with a lot of clearing. There's a lot of healing coming in as we're embracing and having these conversations around what it means to be vulnerable and around what it means to be an energy sensitive. It can feel to be so overwhelming, yet so beautiful to exist within the energy of what is around you. To then have to trust within yourself that you are okay, that there's nothing wrong with being a sensitive, and to allow yourself to immerse yourself in that experience of life. So I want to circle back to codependency and that shadow, giving away the power to somebody else because it feels to be overwhelming to hold it within the body. And one of the ways that shows up quite often is there's an energy in here that speaks to a need to be needed and a want to be wanted. Meaning we jump in really, really fast because you feel and sense the energies, and you have a calling to then jump to the rescue. But here's the key to that. If we are to be honest with ourselves, are we really jumping in to save the day and rescue the other? Or are we jumping in to save the day to fix whatever the situation is because it feels uncomfortable? Do we do it because we want the feelings within our bodies to calm down? And having those honest conversations really then looks at that shadow of codependency. How we feel sometimes that we are responsible to jump in and fix and save another. And we are inadvertently giving them the message then that they are incapable of doing it themselves. Now, flip that around for a minute. Because if you had a parent that was always jumping in to do things for you, or using language of, well, why can't you figure that out? Oh, let me just do it for you, or putting a lot of pressure on you to get it right the first time, you may feel afraid to venture into those areas where you don't know how to do something, or you're so used to somebody doing it with you that it feels to be overwhelming to have the strength to do it yourself. So a lot of us are coming into this energy, this increased push to be more confident, to rise yourself up and out, to expand your energy, to know that you are safe enough to take the full responsibility, to work with your guides, your angels, God, source to creator, whatever that energy is for you, and answer the call to move into a greater sense of independence. Now, independence means embracing those sensitivities and first knowing, does this belong to you or does it belong to the other? So it's only when you move into a state of full awareness of yourself, you come to understand your own energetic nature. You're aware of your birth chart. You're aware of your learning opportunities, your challenges, your fears, where you came to really expand within yourself. In that awareness of who you are, your sovereignty, your independence, then you start branching that out to recognize, wow, I can sense others. And you don't have to be overwhelmed by sensing others. It becomes a beautiful connection of having compassion, having understanding, having forgiveness, having grace, these higher vibrating virtues that are here to help us to support one another, not by jumping in to fix, to save, to rescue, but to see for yourself, to feel for yourself, to be aware within yourself that there are solutions. So if there are solutions, your job is to hold the light, to reassure the other individual that they will get through this, to help them in their own self-actualization, to guide them, to discover for themselves the potentials and possibilities that exist. If we jump in to do the work, we rob others of their own self-empowerment. So as a sensitive, as an empath, as somebody in this journey through the mandala wheel, through the human design chart to discover yourself, through branching that off into the inner alchemy of the gene keys, you really are learning all about you first, to then be of assistance for the greatest good by answering the true call. Not answering the call out of fear, not answering the call out of uncomfortability or a hidden agenda, a triggered response, but coming from a more higher, enlightened sense of who you are to truly be of service to the world. So we have much to learn through this gateway of approach. We have much to learn through our channel of sensitivity. We have much to learn about our emotional awareness and how we have triggers within our own bodies and how we deal and process our own emotions. Aquarius season is going to continue to take us on this journey through those energies. And as we are approaching February the 1st, which is the full moon in the sign of Leo, Leo sits in the governing house of the sun, which means your ego, your personality. So if you're looking at your human design chart, the two numbers at the very top, your numbers, one consciously aware, one unconsciously aware in your sun sign, and really looking at the line item in that, which means that's the decimal number. That's going to give you some clues as to what you are here to really examine within yourself, within that full moon energy, as you're moving through your sensitivities and giving yourself permission to stay present with whatever is unfolding for you. If you want some help with that, I do have space for maybe 10 readings to give you a full moon reading, looking at your birth chart, looking at some of those elements in there, looking at your channel of sensitivity and how that may show up within your chart, and providing some tools to help you move through your own self-actualization to feel and experience this energy. So if that is something that is of interest to you, feel free to leave me a comment down below or visit my website, lovingenergyrecharge.com, and book yourself in for a human design reading. Now, as we are closing out this energy and embracing our sensitivities this week, embracing the teachings of Aquarius season, embracing and knowing that we are coming to our final 2 houses within this wheel, within the zodiac astrological calendar. We are in the final push, which means this is your initiation. This is your opportunity to not run, to not expect perfectionism, but to be more mindfully present as much as possible, to allow the energy to be your teacher, to move into the wisdom of the experience, to reassure yourself that you are safe, that there are solutions to all problems, and that the universe is here to support what is for the highest good. So enjoy this energy, enjoy this experience. I encourage you to follow along on my Facebook or Instagram pages. As we open up the gateways to these energies, we move through each of the 6 line items, which means every day we go through a journey of the chakras, starting down at the root, then the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, and moving it up to the 3rd eye. This is your opportunity to take these teachings and move it through the various energy centers within yourself as you embody whatever's unfolding for you based on your life experiences. So I hope that that tool is of service to you. I know it has been useful within my own journey. I'm grateful to have those along who are taking this journey alongside me into a deeper embodiment of knowing we are safe to be sensitives. It is a blessing to be a sensitive, but you are here to work with your partnership in order to build the relationship of trusting in yourself. I am sending you all much love. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. Take care.